This is a video covering the Celtic Shield design. First, I'm going to start off with showing these pieces, which weren't perfectly printed. There were better versions. These are ones I could find more readily. This was the first idea. Was you had the 2-foot shield, inch diameter. It's actually 2 cardboard circles together. And originally it was going to be these 2 designs. These are included in, by the way. And basically you do 16 of these all the way around the shield. I didn't like the fact that you then have these lines fitting together every so often. You'd have to then figure out how to cover it. And I decided, to be honest, that they would make it less Celtic. So I went with this design where you have runes. The shields were indicative of Celtic shields, the swords here. I call them blades. They're indicative of it. A lion centerpiece. I made up my own Celtic wording and symbols here. And all these on the side, this is sort of my take on a Celtic knot. I tried to make it as original as I could. And basically, holes were drilled in it. Things were put down, sunken down. I did not center this very well, this inner ring. So I had to get some creative. By all means, center it properly, and it should go down just fine, without an issue. The back of it shows where the bolts came out. There are 2 different types of bolts. I decided to not use the good ones. I used the rim bolts, and that means they stick out more. Wasn't an issue for me though. They're designed more for these extra things and for the rim, but they work well. They just stick out more at the end. The other ones are a bit shorter, so you wouldn't see these. Some of these holes that don't have them, they're using the proper body bolts. And I didn't drill the holes properly, or they would have come through on the back side of this outer ring. My fault. But in praise of the fact that the design does work, it sits together just fine even with it. Drill your holes well. Like I say, you're not going to have an issue. I decided to not go with the arm braces. They're supposed to go, you fit it on the backs here, so you can then use it for your arm. If you do that, you can, of course, it does fit your arm just well. Comes in 2 parts, and you could hold it like any regular shield. I decided for the party I would not do this because I want my arms free at the party. So I went for the straps. They go around, and then this goes over my shoulder, and then it just sits nicely on my shoulder. And I've got a Celtic shield with my Celtic Prince costume. If you're going to use them, basically there are certain bolts from the front. You just have to make sure they're longer. You might have to use real ones to come through, and then use real bolts to make sure they're screwed in tight, and then you got a more secure shield. I'm not sure these will actually hold it well. And again, make sure your screws are proper. I didn't fully measure these right, so I would have had to redo them to make this work if I had chosen that. As it is though, I'm quite happy with the end result. You get the bolts show up nicely. I like the fact that was part of my design. And everything, it's got like a glue purpose around here. It's got some podge on here so it'll shine. And so everything is sealed. It's now going to become a decoration. Halloween party already happened, but it is definitely worth, I think, building. I can actually show that more. But drill everything properly. I've got a bullet hole. I mean, whatever you want to call that to make an excuse for the fact that I have a hole there. Drill it right, print it well, paint whatever color you want. Hope you like it.